Madison said, I don't want a person of color. I want a nice white man. A nice proper white man. I only want a black man, a Hispanic, a person of color if he ain't really mine. Then I'll take him off your hands. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is TammyTalks. We are here today, on time, mind you, to talk Married at First Sight, Season 18, Episode 16. The experts have questions. Before we get started, shout out to everybody that did watch my last recap and the after party. They were late. I had to travel for work last week, so they came out way later than I typically put out my videos. But y'all still showed up and showed out, so I appreciate you guys for it. So we are here, we are ready, and we are on time to talk tonight's episode. All right, so before we get started, y'all, do me a favor. I need at least 100 of you guys to hit that subscribe button. I will be at 33,000 subs. Y'all know the goal right now is 40,000 subs. That's 40,000. So if you are here, you've been here all season, you have just not yet found a YouTube home, come over here and join the Tamily. We welcome you, okay? I have ushers to the side with juice, tea, and coffee ready to serve you all right? So if you guys haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video. We always shoot for 1,000 likes. We typically get it. I appreciate you guys for that. Leave your comments down below. Don't be calling nobody stupid in the comments. That's not nice, okay? Leave your comments down below. We can disagree without calling each other names, all right? So let's go ahead and get right into the episode, y'all, okay? So we're going to start off with Michelle. So Michelle, remember now, David just told Michelle, like, it is what it is. You know, I'm about to go be with Madison, okay? So Michelle runs up on Madison, and it's like, so do you want to have a conversation? You got something to say to me? And Madison, it's like, are you going to come in guns a-blazing? And if she did, what you gonna do? Who gonna check me, boo? See, Michelle need a little more soul to her, because I would have laid down on Madison. Because how dare you ask me if I'm gonna come in guns a-blazing when you're cheating on my husband. You're cheating on me with my husband, and we supposed to be friends. Stop that, Madison. So Madison is like, Michelle, can you just listen for a second? Talk. You ain't wanted to say nothing before, but I guess you got something to say now. Go ahead and talk. Talk, Madison. So Madison is like, well, we just told each other today that we like each other. Just relax. I like David. Meanwhile, David is outside talking about some, I like her too. Shut up. Shut up, David. Going back to your room. Weren't you asleep? Weren't you all swollen in the chest because you got woken up? Go back to sleep. You done did what you needed to do. Why are you still up? Go let your bun down and go back to sleep. So David keeps trying to help Madison, talking about some, I got this. Like, it's not a big deal. Y'all just don't know, bro. Y'all just don't know. And I'm like, David, you sound so incredibly stupid and immature right now. You do. Because how are you? Y'all watch Power? Do y'all watch Power? This reminds me of, remember when Ghost told Tasha, his wife, have some compassion. I just lost the love of my life. Do y'all remember that? When Angie passed away? This is the same vibe it's giving me, right? So David keeps trying to help Madison. Michelle is over. She said, I ain't got to say nothing to y'all. I don't want to talk to y'all. So Michelle walks away. Michelle goes in her room. Camille and Emm come in and they like, girl, what's going on? So Michelle is telling them, and she's like, look, I'm so upset that I'm shaking. That's how mad I am. Big mad, right? So Michelle is like, look, I hope Madison likes living in his parents' basement. I said, oh. But damn. Michelle been waiting to say that. Michelle been keeping that one in the tuck for a while, right? So Emm was like, ooh. So Michelle is like, look, let me tell you this. So if you sent that message talking about you want to eat her up, did you? Did you do it already? Because let's be real, y'all. We all adults here, right? That's not a text that you send somebody that you don't have that relationship with. It's not. It's just not, right? Because if I get an unprovoked text like that from somebody that I consider just a friend, or we don't have that type of relationship with, you're going to get cussed the F out. I promise you. David knew he could send Madison that text because he done did it before, right? So Emmett was like, I'm going to go home. This is too much for me. Emmett said, let me go on and get up out of here because y'all doing too much. I done got served the divorce paper. Y'all cutting the food. Like, let me just go on back to my, deluxe apartment in the sky and chill. So Camille asked Michelle, and I hope everybody listens, okay? Everybody, let's open our ears. Why are you so upset about this? What about this is hurting you the most, okay? Because some of y'all have been asking this in my comments. I've been seeing it. Michelle said that she is hurt the most by Madison because Madison was her friend. She considered Madison a friend. David has been lying to her face, and she knew that. She's okay with that. She understood that, right? But she didn't think Madison was. So the fact that Michelle has been lamenting to Madison and the rest of the ladies for the past couple of weeks, all to find out that Madison is Becky with the good hair. Who wouldn't be hurt by that, y'all? Like, I get it, okay? Y'all don't like Michelle. I don't like Michelle either. We don't like Michelle. I get it. But at the same time, y'all, we can separate the two, okay? It's just like, I don't care for Michelle. Michelle was mean to him. Michelle was rude, right? But at the same token, I have the emotional maturity to say that doesn't mean that she deserves to be lied to her face. It doesn't mean that she deserves to be cheated on. She's hurt because of her friend. It don't sound like she's hurt about David. She's hurt because of her friend. Okay? So as long as we got that understood, we got that moving and shaking and bouncing around, we cool. Okay? So then we get to, hold on, y'all. Okay, so then we see Michelle saying that, look, they not worth my time, okay? And they don't deserve my energy, so she gonna leave too. Well, she had to leave. Emmett was her ride, okay? So they leave. So the next morning we see Madison looking very swollen in the face, like she been up crying all night. That eyelash was hanging on for dear life. But Madison's doing the diary cam. And she said, this is a big shit show. Yeah, you're a part of it. You're a part of the shit show. But, okay. She said a lot of hurts and feelings are involved. And you know what? Madison said, I care about Alan. And I feel awful. I said, do you? I care about Alan. I feel awful. I didn't want Alan to get hurt. Who'd have thunk? And it's like, girl, you did. Were you thinking about Alan when you were having tacos with David? Were you? Were you thinking about Alan when you were out with your legs like this during the hooker hours of the night? So Madison then said, I hope Alan understands, and forgives me one day. I said, okay, girl. So we then see Camille and Tom. And Camille was like, you been Team David. What's good? What are we doing? And Tom was like, nah, I can't defend this. Thug Life said, this ain't how I get down. When I cheat, I don't get caught like that. So I can't even fool with David no more. But Tom is like, so I can't even take anything that David says as truth. And that's the worst part about this, Madison and David. Y'all did so much lying, so much conspiring, Y'all did so much conspiring and all that type of stuff behind everybody's back to lie to everybody's face. Why should any of these people trust y'all or believe anything else that y'all are saying? Why should they? Why should they, right? So Camille was like, well, clearly they've been more intimate because I can't get past the text. Because if you're sending a text like that, it's more than just, I have feelings for you. Y'all have acted on these feelings. Y'all damn near in a relationship. So we then see Juan and David. So Juan comes down, David slept on the couch, and Juan was like, good morning. You want some coffee? David would say, I don't drink coffee. Juan said, maybe you should. Maybe you should start drinking some coffee today. David has the audacity to ask Juan for advice. Juan said, well, the problem is, it's not that y'all like each other. The problem is the way that y'all did it. Juan said, this was fucked up. Juan said it, not me. I'm not, I don't do all that cussing, I'm a cussing YouTuber, so I'm a cuss. But Juan said it was fucked up, right? So Juan tells David, look, you need to own up to it and you need to apologize. You need to go talk to Alan because Alan considered you a friend. Alan deadass considered you a friend. So for you to cross him like that, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. So Juan tells David, look, you and Madison are starting off on the wrong note. He said it was disappointing. I don't know if I can be around y'all like that no more. Because, how do I know that you're not going to try to get with Mark? You know what I mean? So then David is like, well, maybe I should just take myself out the equation. Yeah, go home. Go home. Get your control back up and go home. Because nobody wants you here, David. How are you even still comfortable? Truth be told, David and Madison should have left last night. Not everybody else. So Juan said a word. Juan said, look, y'all are not going to have trust issues. That's what y'all are going to have because how can y'all trust each other with the way that y'all got together? And I said, facts. Facts. The next white man that comes walking by, Madison going to leave you. David, you're a person of color. She don't want no person of color. She don't want a can. She wants a nice, Aryan, European man. That's what she wants. The audacity. What? So we then see Madison and David, okay? So y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Let me find it. Where my stuff at? See, they don't want me to give it to y'all the way that it should. Boom. Okay, so actually we're gonna give them a little of this too. Because there's no way that they were thinking clearly. There's no way, okay? So we're gonna blur them out a little bit. Because this has to be what they have been seeing. This has to be how they're looking at the situation. Because they can't be serious, right? So Madison and David are in the master bedroom. And they immediately hug. I said, oh my God. People that just realized they liked each other hug like that. They embrace like this. Cool. So he asked her, if you plan on staying, you gonna stay, Madison? Because if you gonna stay, I can stay. Madison said, I don't know. Well, Emm and Michelle left. And David is like, oh, did they? Damn, I ain't know. Ain't nobody told me nothing. No, nobody told you anything. Nobody told you, right? Madison is now claiming that, I got to know the heartfelt. I got to know the sentimental and the vulnerable side of you, David. I got to know you. I don't care that you're a person of color. And I told Pastor Cal that I don't want a person of color. It's okay. Because I can't tell what you are. That's how Madison is behaving. So Madison is lying and saying that she really wanted this to work with Alan. At what part? What point did you really want this to work with Alan? When you were out in the hooker hours with David? Okay, cool. So they said, look, we're going to be friends first, because technically we're still married. Y'all been married. But y'all been married, though. Y'all been married for the past 7 weeks. But I guess just now you realize, just now you remembered that y'all are married. Okay, cool. Sure. So then Madison has a walk of shame downstairs to the kitchen. And everybody was like, good morning. Camille looked her up and down and was like, good morning, how you sleep? Yeah, rough night. What? Rough night, wasn't it? Because you ruined everybody's night. You ruined the retreat for everybody. So Carla comes downstairs and said, what did I miss? Fill me in. I said, oh, Carla about to get activated. So the ladies all go to the side. The ladies that are still there, Madison, Carla, and Camille, they're in the living room. Let's have some girl talk. Madison said, look, I want you to hear from me, okay? I started to develop feelings for David. It's been over the past couple of weeks. We bonded over, just shit from our marriages. We would be in the gym on the treadmill. We would be hanging out. Then we were hanging out on the weekend. It just happened. I said, oh, Madison. Carla said, Carla got her chakras together and said, well, Michelle came to us several times to talk about this, to lament about this text message, right? And for this to be done without behind her back, crazy. This should have been an honest conversation between you, Madison, and you, Michelle. It should have been a very woman to woman. Hey, Barbara, this is Shirley. That's what should have happened, right? So Carla said, because then that way you can be happy and Michelle doesn't have to go crazy and crash out wondering who this text message is for. Carla said, you should have talked to her. So Madison is like, well, I didn't think the text was meant for me. Stop lying. That's what kills me. Like, the charade is up. The jig is up. Just be honest now, Madison. So Madison is like, we weren't at that level. She was like, but all the advice that I gave Michelle was genuine. Was it? Oh, okay. Carla said, well, you should have talked to her weeks ago. Carla said, look, I've been the closest to you. You've been my ace boon coon, okay? She said, but it's uncomfortable and awkward now. This is grimy, dirty, and it affects the group. Half the damn group done left. You done sucked all the fun out of the retreat. Y'all done took all the fun out of the retreat. You made it icky for everybody. Carla said, is this your honeymoon now? Is this, are we intruding? I said, ooh, Carla into it. So Camille was like, look, the text is not something that you send somebody that you just have a crush with. Madison said, well, I would have questioned it if I would have got it. I'm not a bad person, and I don't want people to think I am. I don't try to hurt people. You don't try to hurt people. Oh, okay. But she's more worried about her friendship with Carla and not the fact that you hurt Michelle. That's what I don't get. If David don't like Michelle, fine. Sure. I understand David being like, F Michelle and the boat she rode in on, right? But Madison, Michelle hasn't done anything to you, baby. She hasn't. So for you to have such vitriol for her to try to make yourself feel better about what you did, that's crazy. That's crazy, right? So Carla said, look, there are a million men in this world, and we are supposed to be each other's safety net. I don't want to be involved in your relationship. I don't want to be involved in this relationship. Trust has been broken. So then Madison looked like she about to cry because that's, you know Camille ain't effing with you no more. You know Emm ain't effing with you no more. Going to pack up your things and go home, right? So Madison goes up to David and said, I'm leaving. I just need some time. Bye. So Alan shows back up the next morning. He said to get his car, and he's packing up his spices. He said, give me my damn Lowry's and my slap your mama and my garlic powder, because you know what Alan cooks with? Seasoning, okay? So Alan cleaning up his spices because he about to go back home, and Camille and Carla go talk to him. Alan said, this has been going on for weeks. That's foul. That's lame. That's crazy, right? So he was like, so now the next time I'm in a relationship, I'm going to be kind of thinking where you going, who you going with, who you kicking with, who you texting, who you calling. And that's not fair to Alan, and it's not going to be fair to the next woman that he gets in a relationship with. He doesn't want to be the guy that is second guessing everything, right? So Alan said, look, what gets me is the fact that she was dangling carrots of hope in front of me, as if we could be something, as if there was hope for us, knowing that she was really canoodling with David. And that's the effed up part. It's one thing that David was lying to Michelle's face and David was checked out. Okay, cool. Let's forget David for a moment. Madison was acting as if she honestly and truly wanted to work it out with Alan when you know that you didn't. You know that you didn't, because you were, at the same moment, you were developing feelings for David. That's the crazy part. So Alan thanks Tom and Juan for their friendship and was like, I don't regret being a part of this. I got y'all friendship out of this. I appreciate it. This was a learning experience. I, okay? Alan said, look, I don't believe that Madison and David were just friends. I don't. I think that there was something going on, and it has been going on for a while. So Tom said, look, I'm Team Michelle now. My wife, Team Michelle, I'm Team Michelle. That's the vibe Tom was giving. He said, but look, this happened within the confines of the process, and that's what's not cool. I had some people ask me in the comments, should they, because some of y'all really try to act obtuse and act aloof, and y'all know what people are saying. But I had somebody, I think it was Greek Son, say in the comments, should David have waited until the divorce was over, which can take months? No, the common sense, we are saying within the confines of this process. Within the confines of the process, this is a real marriage, y'all. So if you can't control yourself for 8 weeks, what is life? 8 weeks? David and Madison both knew that they were going to say no on decision day. So y'all could have truly just waited until decision day, said no, and then reached out to each other after that. And it wouldn't have been a big deal. People would have side-eyed y'all, but y'all wouldn't have come across as cheaters. So Alan then asked if Madison and David slept in the same room. Juan and Tom was like, sure, I don't know. Nah, David slept down on the couch. So we now see David packing up so he can go home. And he tells everybody, because now he does his walk of shame into the kitchen. He tells everybody that he's sorry for effing up the weekend. I'm going to just take some time to myself, get myself together. I need to do some self-reflection. And, but I'm happy that, I met y'all. Okay. And, me and Madison, we have a strong connection. We have a strong bond. And my friends and my family love me and they like me. And that's all that matters. Carla was standing there like, the way Carla was cutting her eye and looking David up and down, disgusted. Because y'all done messed up Carla's feng shui. She didn't bring enough sage and crystals to get all this up out the air. Y'all done messed this up for Carla, right? So David is like, but y'all saw both sides of the situation. And like, y'all know, and it's just going to take some time. David, go home. Go home. Just going home, sir. So we then see, this was my part here. We then see Michelle in her apartment, and she's calling Pastor Cal. She said, Pastor Cal, things aren't going great. He said, oh, Lord. Okay, what happened? Michelle said, but I know who the text was for. It was for Madison. Pastor Cal said, wait. What? Madison? And Michelle was like, Madison. And Pastor Cal was like, oh my God. Pastor Cal was crashing out, y'all. So I am hollering. I rewinded that part like 3 times because you can hear Pastor Cal being like, what happened? Pastor Cal said, look, no one deserves to be cheated on. I hope everybody hears that. Michelle did not deserve to be cheated on, y'all. He was like, look, if you don't want to be in a marriage, then you leave the marriage. But you certainly don't cheat with somebody else's wife. Meanwhile, back across town at the couples retreat, the foursome, because that's all that's left, is Juan and Carla, Tom and Camille. They're playing horse. Carla is trying to get her chakras back in order. She's so discombobulated, she don't know what to do. Camille wins horse, and then they all talk about how the 4 of them are all open and honest with their partners, and that's why things are going the way that they are going for them. We then see Alan get to Michelle's simple apartment, and he was like, this is beautiful. So, she was just beaming with pride. He called my simple apartment beautiful, right? So Alan was like, look, David's text was not just a friendly "what's good." That was weeks of sexual tension or weeks of sexing that has built up. And I was like, I agree. So we then get a montage, Lord have mercy, of Madison and David's relationship budding. from the honeymoon when he was like, "You gonna be my workout buddy," to all the times that they did like diary cams of them talking about working out together, to my favorite part was them coming home during their hooker hours every night at the same time. Like they were literally walking in the door at the same time. So Alan is like, Madison texted me as I was pulling up here. And Madison has this long drawn up text about how she's sorry and all this other stuff. And Alan wrote back, "Please don't message me. You have nothing of value to say to me." I said, "Hi." So, meanwhile, back at the retreat, Tom and Camille are packing up to go home because y'all don't ruin the shit for everybody. So, we then see Carla and Warner packing up to go home too. Tom said, "Well, damn, you never pulled out the lingerie. Is it even real?" She ain't going, I mean, y'all been having sex, Tom, so it's okay. So, we then see Alan back at the apartment, and he's packing now, and he's ripping up the wedding book. Like, he ripped it up to make sure you don't save not a goddamn picture. So he's ripping up the pages in sets of 3, and then sets it very nicely. He's burning the vows, leaving them on the stove. He broke her Mrs. thing. He's smashing, like, all the little, you know, Mr. and Mrs. stuff that they got at the wedding and at the honeymoon. I said, damn. Because Alan truly didn't deserve this, y'all. He did not. So David meets up with his friend Tommy. Sorry, Tommy. You get the black and white too, baby. So he meets up with his friend Tommy and talking about some, I fell for one of the other wives. Like, it just happened. And his friend gives him horrific advice, talking about some, go for it. David is like, well, you know, she gives me comfort. She gives me intention. This is the thing. Anytime David talks about Madison, it's not that Madison is so beautiful. Madison is so funny. Madison is this. I love her personality. She's intuitive. She's smart. He's not saying any of that. What did David say he likes the most about Madison? She plays darts, y'all. She plays darts in fantasy football. And like, man, I said, woo, what a winner. Oh my God, who doesn't play fantasy football? Come on. So anytime David talks about Madison, it's because she listened to me. She complimented me. She poured in to me. She likes what I like. Madison, what are you getting out of this? Think about it. Think about it. What are you getting out of this, Madison? Because it sounds like David is just taking from you, and he's not giving anything back to you. But you're getting digged down every now and again. Okay, girl. You can go get that from somebody that actually has something to offer you. So, David is saying that Madison dropped a bomb on him this weekend and says she liked him play with somebody else. But then says, I can see myself being married to her. I can see myself being married to her. I truly can. So Madison gets back to the shared apartment, and she looks shocked that Alan is gone. She looks shook, right? So she's looking around at all the stuff that he done ripped and burned, calls her friend, and was like, girl, he done tore the book up. Like, this is psycho behavior. I said, psycho behavior? Isn't it psycho behavior to cheat on your friend with her? I mean, to cheat on your husband with your friend's husband? I think that's the real psycho behavior, Madison. But hey, maybe it's me. The real psycho behavior is that eyelash that has been hanging on, that is trying to get away from your face. But hey. So Madison said there's a dark cloud over the building. You're the dark cloud, Madison. But okay, girl. So then she's like, I should have been the one to tell Alan. Yeah, you should have, but you were a coward and you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. So you sent David to go do it. Because I'm very certain that we just did not see a conversation between Madison and David where David was like, I'll go tell Alan for the both of us. I would like to know why Madison disrespects Michelle so much to the point that she was like, I don't want to talk to her. I'm not going to tell her anything. I want to know the backstory with that. Is it because of pillow talking with Madison and David? Because again, if David doesn't like Michelle and David feels like he don't owe Michelle nothing and he wants to pay Michelle debts, got it. I understand that, right? But for Madison, it makes no sense for you to be this upset with Michelle and for you to treat Michelle that way. She didn't do anything to you. She really didn't. So Madison's friend gives her horrific advice and was like, Alan's not going to talk to you. So, tell him that you want to talk to him as you want to talk to him as her husband. What? So Madison starts fake crying, talking about, I didn't mean to hurt Alan. And I feel like the worst person in the world right now. And you are. Madison, you are. You're giving I'm a good person vibes. You don't want to be like Alyssa. Lord knows we didn't like her at all. Right? So, we didn't get to Emm and Iachi. Okay. So they're meeting up with the experts because we need y'all to say y'all want a divorce so we can save, our charcuterie board that we were going to set out for y'all at decision day. So Emm comes in and she said, look, I have peace from knowing that I tried my hardest. She said, I feel like I have given him everything that he told me he needed. I tried my best, but he kept moving the end goal. He kept moving the goalpost, which he did. She said that this man tried to emotionally tear me down. Now, my mom wishes him peace. I wish him the worst. I said, damn. Okay. So Iachi walks in, and you can tell the energy just completely shifted. That's the dark cloud that's in the building. Was Iachi in the area, Madison? So he doesn't speak to Emm at all. He kind of looks her up and down. And Pastor Cal was like, what happened? Iachi said, look, we didn't know each other enough. The discovery period just kind of went awry and it kept spiraling downhill. There was no stopping it. He said, but there was a genuine like, but there were certain events that happened that deterred that particular like. So Dr. Pepper said, why did you show up at the, because I need to know, why did you show up at that retreat to hand her a divorce paper? Dr. Pepper was like, look, you weren't prepared. So why did you show up to do that? Iachi starts to speak, and Emm was like, he did it to embarrass me. And Iachi was like, I didn't want to embarrass you. And I said, I'm sorry. Look, I think people have to kind of realize that just because you say sorry to somebody, that one, that doesn't mean that they have to accept it. And two, it doesn't mean that you can just move on and that person is going to forgive and forget. You did show up to embarrass her, Iachi, but you ended up embarrassing yourself because you didn't check your folder before you left the house. Right? So Emm was like, you should be ashamed of yourself and blah, 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 and blue, blue, blue. And he starts smirking. And it's like he wants her to go off because he thinks that by Emm going off, that he's like, see y'all, this what I deal with, but it's not phasing anybody because you were in the wrong. You did try to embarrass her. So Iachi is like, see, and this is why I walk out, because being in this marriage doesn't feel good or healthy. Pastor Cal said, look, I've been married a long time, young blood, okay? I've been married, and one thing that I cannot do is just get up and walk away. Because when you do that, that means that that person can't respond to you. You can't have a meaningful interaction with that person. You don't get that person's point of view. So Iachi was like, understood. He's such an ass. So Pastor Cal said, look, y'all want to continue with the marriage or not? Because ain't nobody, to this point, Iachi has never said no. So before Pastor Cal can even finish, he was like, no. No. So Emm was like, I want a divorce. Emm said, I have a letter to my departed. Now you can catch Emm's letter. It's going to cost you a little more, okay? It's not cheap like letters to the women that I hate that Iachi wrote. Emm's letter is going to start at $99.99, and she will write a letter for you to read somebody down. So she reads this letter to my departed, talking about he's embarrassing, and he tried to come at her, but she's got a favorite, and she wishes him nothing but the worst. She also includes a list of therapists, so he can get his shit together, because he's weird. And you clearly have some internal trauma. You got something going on, Iachi, that you need to go work out, because the way that you behaved on here is indicative of a person that is not fully healed. Right? So she's like, and here is also documentation how to properly complete a dissolution of marriage since your single page was not legitimate. I said, oh shit. So Ikechi looks like he wants to cry because now you're embarrassed, right? Now, if you said that Emm belittled you in this moment, she did, and you deserved it. You deserved it. So Pastor Cal smirks and was like, well, now you can leave. I said, dang, Pastor Cal, why you do that? He was not entertained. So outside, Ikechi was like telling production, this is a taste of what I got all the time. I had to sit and be insulted. And I'd rather be old and single than miserably married. You will be old and single. Bet your bottom dollar, you will be. You ain't got to convince us of it. You will be. Don't worry. Inside, Dr. Pia was like, now, Emm, you know that was shady. And Emm is holding back tears. And she's like, somebody had to be the one to finally do it. And I'm glad it could be me. So we then get to Big Eared in Control. Okay. So Madison and David walk in to see the experts. Madison, before she gets there, it does a diary cam saying, I hope the experts show me grace and compassion. I'm not going there to be berated, you know. I don't want to be told I did anything wrong. And I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person, okay? I didn't do anything wrong, and I hope the experts see me and David's side, see our side of the situation. We didn't do anything wrong. Our feelings are our feelings. I said, oh, Madison. So David comes in and he hugs Madison right away. I said, oh, look at the people that are just friends getting such a hug. Okay. So Dr. Pepper said, look, we are personally upset. And I want to know the truth. Dr. Pepper turned into Mama Mo. I want the truth right now, goddammit. What is going on? So David said, look, it started in the gym. We made a connection working out while talking about our marriages. Madison was saying, and I found myself catching feelings. So Pastor Cal said, look, y'all fucking or not? David was like, no. Pastor Cal said, have you been intimate? David said, well, if you consider a hug intimate, quit trying to be cute, David. Quit trying to be cute. So David was like, look, that text was just me shooting my shot. And Dr. Pepper said, let's be very clear. You do not send a text like that to somebody that you don't have that type of relationship with. And I 1,000% agree. Like, let's be real, y'all. You don't just send nobody a text like that. You know why? Because it's called sexual harassment. You can't do that, right? So Dr. Pia was like, look, are we going to sit here and let them play in our face? Y'all are fucking. Okay, I was with Dr. Pia. Play with somebody else. See, they needed Dr. Vivian in there because she'd have gotten their ass about that. So Madison said, yeah, well, you know, we flirt. Of course, we find each other sexually attractive. And you can see David look up like, girl, get back on script. So Madison is like, look, there was flirtation with each other, but that was it. Pastor Cal said, so why haven't y'all had sex? Madison was like, because we're married. Madison, you've been married. That didn't stop you from... Too easy. So then David is like, look, you can believe us if you want to. So clearly you're lying, because we know what that means. So Pastor Cal said, how do y'all know that y'all just aren't experiencing rebound emotions because you weren't getting what you wanted in your relationships? David was just looking. Madison was like, oh, I didn't think of that. Yeah. Pastor Cal said, look, Madison, didn't you say you didn't want a person of color? Ain't that what you said? You said, I don't want no niggas. Don't give me no niggas. Give me a nice, clean white boy. Ain't that what you said? I said, Madison, did you say that? Madison, did you say that? Roll that beautiful bean footage. I be goddamn if they show Madison. If they clocked her. So Pastor Cal was like, because let's be very clear. We talked about this. You did not want a person of color. He then said, because if you saw David on the street, he wouldn't have a shot in hell. Madison was like, I've dated black guys. It's given that I have black friends. That's what it's given. Madison said, I've dated black guys. Pastor Cal said, let's be very clear. If David was a stranger on the street, you wouldn't give him the time of day. You know why? Because he's a can. I said, ooh, Madison. So now David's sitting there looking stupid because you didn't know, David, that you're not her preference. She wants a white boy, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But so Pastor Cal was like, just because you see someone attractive doesn't mean you act on it because you're married. So then David was like, was it really a marriage? The way everybody was like, yes, fool. Pastor Cal said it was a marriage from day one. It was a marriage from day one. So he was like, Michelle was turning the corner. Now, Pastor Cal, she wasn't. Let's be very clear. Michelle was not turning the corner, but still. And Pastor Cal was like, but by that time, David, you had developed a strong affinity for Madison. He said there was a proper way to do things and y'all didn't do it the right way. So David was like, well, look, I got heavy feelings for Madison. I'm smitten. I get butterflies when I see her, and I want something to come out of this. Madison was like, I got to learn more about you. I didn't realize that you weren't white. I didn't realize you were a person of color. I got to get to know you because this don't sound about white right now, okay? So Madison said, plus the idea of being a rebound, I didn't think about that. That just really sucks. And you're not white. Oh my God, what was I seeing? I said, wow. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, let's talk down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Love is Blind is coming. Love is Blind is coming. Love is Blind is coming. Peace.